I understand you were part of this XWF promotion.
The mystery promotion. If a promotion takes 5 good, really good episodic hours of TV with really great talent, and it never airs, does it really exist? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I just posed that to Sonny Ono on social media. But XWF was a company that Greg Valentine, Brian Knobs, and Jimmy Hart found some investors. One of the investors was a guy named Kevin Harrington, who was one of the original judges on Shark Tank. And he was an infomercial guy, very successful infomercial guy. They were all involved in infomercials in one way or another, all the people that got involved. And they decided to start a wrestling company. So my bosses were Jimmy and Greg and Knobs, and it's kind of an eclectic group of people you work for, especially when you've been working for Tony Schiavone and Eric Bischoff. But I needed a job. My severance was up. Literally, my severance ended the week I got paid first from the XWF, so that was a great opportunity. They would fly me down here from Atlanta. I'd stay during the week. They'd fly me back up. My job was talent relations. I was in charge of talent relations. I sat on the booking team. And when they needed a ring announcer, when they were doing the taping, I was the ring announcer. It really became a huge project of love for me because I had a piece of it. I had a piece of the planning. I had the piece of. I helped edit it. The hours of television. I was involved in all facets of it. It was one of those situations, wrong place, wrong time. We taped, like I said, 5 really good 1-hour episodes of television. We had Roddy Piper, we had Jimmy Snuka, rest in peace. We had Sable in a role as the CEO. We were given a big push to Vampiro as a top baby face. We had the Road Warriors, the Nasty Boy. I mean, the list goes on and on. We had great talent. We had the young and up and coming AJ Styles, who we were going to give a massive push to. And so we did these great tapings. We edited them. The problem was, by the time we did them, well, first of all, you knew that there was going to be something wrong. Jerry Lawler had lost his job at WWE. He walked out when his girlfriend got fired. So we had him and Tony Schiavone doing the tapings. Well, Jerry came the day of the show and said, I can't do the tapings. I just got a job offer with WWF again. This promotion, by the way, got more people jobs with WWF than anything else that's probably ever happened. Because half the guys, the moral of the story is, half the guys on the taping ended up back at WWF by the time we had time to go promote the TV, the 5 episodics. Me and Gene got hired back, he was our guy. Lawler got hired back, he was our guy. Hulk got hired back, he was part of the deal. Piper got hired back. Curt Hennig got hired back. Bobby Heenan got hired back. The list goes on and on. So we're basically taking a tape to a bunch of television executives, and we're saying, "Here's what we got. We want you to air this, and then we'll tape more." And they say, "Oh, great! You got Hulk Hogan. He's a huge name." Well, actually, I hate to say this, but he's back in WWE now. All right, well, cool. But you got Jerry Lawler. He's kind of back in the. Well, you got Curt. After a while, the executives were like, "What are you showing me? You got great tape, but you got nobody under contract anymore." So it is what it is. It was a great opportunity. I think we really could have done something, but it just was the wrong place and the wrong time, quite frankly.
Wasn't one of Curt Hennig's last matches for that? Yeah,
he wrestled Hulk in a dark match, and then he was one of the top guys. We promoted the main feud was going to be Road Warriors and Nasty Boys, and Curt Hennig managed by Bobby Heenan against Vampiro. We were really giving Vampiro a push. I don't know whether it would have worked or not, quite frankly, but we thought he had, for the time, and we thought he had a unique gimmick, sort of almost like a modern version of Sting, but we never got the chance to find out.
One other thing I have to ask you about XWF is when I wrestled in Puerto Rico, there was always boxes of XWF shirts that I don't know if they were still trying to sell them or what, but they were sitting at a storage room in the WWC office, so maybe you could explain.
We did an invasion angle.
Okay.
Where XWF was going to come. We showed our tapes on their show. They had 2-hour block. We'd show 1 hour of XWF for 5 weeks. And then some of the guys flew there to do angles. The Nasty Boys did an angle with Thunder and Lightning, and I forget who did an angle with Carlos, or I forget exactly the matchups. But we did an angle for an anniversary show where it was XWF versus WWC. I actually got to wrestle, quote unquote, one of the referees. I'd remember his name if you told me. We just kind of rolled around, and I was so blown up after 30 seconds, I let him pin me. Well, he was going to pin me anyway, but I let him pin me like 2 minutes before it was supposed to. Yeah, that was an interesting trip because I got written a check, and I took it to a check cashing place because I had heard horror stories, and I got my cash, and then a week later I found out the check bounced. So thank you, Victor Jovica. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're definitely not the first. That's happened to me a lot with them, which is why I've left the company too. But did that happen with any of the bigger stars?
They all got paid in cash, I think.
Okay.
Not that I know of, but if it did, they probably wouldn't want to admit it, you know?
I know they did that. It happened to Heidenreich when I was there. And
well, I had heard the story, so as soon as I landed, boom, right from the airport, I went to a check cashing store.
yeah.
You know?
You should have tried to cash it while you were in Puerto Rico. But I guess that's why the whole XWF thing didn't pan out with that.
It just didn't draw.
Yeah.
It just we didn't have enough of the stars there. We were putting guys like Ricky Santana and Fidel Sierra, who are two great talents, by the way. Don't get me wrong, and they're great friends of mine. But we're putting them in spots that on TV were Curt Hennig and you know.
And they were already in WWC, so it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a very watered down invasion. Still don't even know how they're still in business.